Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to this week's Astro Oracle reading. Isn't my t-shirt fun? My friend Elise did this. This was one of the t-shirts we gave away at Oraclepalooza Virtual in one of our swag boxes. She cut the sleeves, she cut the collar. She said the t-shirt was too boring. So we're probably gonna have a contest with people who got this t-shirt, the Woo Crew t-shirt, and see who the best bedazzler is. Anyway, it glows in the dark. Isn't that fun? Anyhow, I couldn't help but wear it this week. So let's talk about this. Now, if you've never seen these videos before, I choose oracle cards to describe the energy per zodiac sign. Now, you'll end up with 9 cards. Why? Because you have a sun sign, which is your first 3, then an ascendant, which is your next 3, and then your moon. If you're a triple, say you're a triple Scorpio, you just read Scorpio basically, and you just realize that, oh, that's a really intense week. So if you're double or triple, and if you have 3 different signs, if you don't know how to do that, astro.com, we have a video we can, don't we have a video too? Yeah. So on my channel on YouTube, you can check up my YouTube channel, which tells you how to do your own birth chart and figure it out on astro.com. So everything is done for you there in case you're wondering and you want to know. All right, here we go. So this is Aries. Aries, flexible, interesting. So if you read yesterday's reading, or if you didn't read it, if you watched it, you will have seen this particular card as being the obstacle card or the energy to move around an obstacle. And it's about watching like rigidity. In this case, it is about the Aries is working well under the flexibility sign. You just have to remember you are not doing this based on your will alone and only you count. You have to really take into consideration others. And you might not be as satisfied as you hope to on a project that is material, but it may be because you forgot to include your higher power, and you might be doing some pivots this week as well. That's for Aries. Treasure Island is in the protection position. And remember, your value and your worth is not dependent on what you have materially. That's also very, very important to see greater meaning around what you might think is as a failure or a loss or even a not enough. So not enoughness. You have to remember that you're more than enough already. It's your perception of things that will give you that. So time to get a little bit more flexible on the way you see yourself. That's for Aries. Now let's take a look at Taurus. Here we go, Taurus. That was for you, Mark. Here we go. Okay, so Taurus for this week, you have unfinished business, and you're not ready, and you could be in your dirty diapers. Okay, and I'm kidding when I say that, but that's sort of something we laugh about in my school. But these are all 3 cards are in protection. What that means is you need an extra hug this week, Taurus. That stuff could be coming up for you at the moment this week that you feel kind of like not ready to pursue because you never completed a lesson before. And it reminds you not to get involved with other people's dramas. That's not my circus, not my monkeys when never-ending stories in protection. So it's really about, ooh, I've got to stay away from the energy vampires and from the people who really want to suck me dry because I'm just not ready to deal is basically what this is. You might feel less grounded around people like that. So I would say, because these 2 cards are here, that you need to be ready to let go of these people, because it's almost like you're saying, you know, I'm not ready to let them go. And this is saying, yeah, but how's that working for you? So that's for Taurus. I'm dying to hear from you guys, or I'm living to hear from you about your feelings about that. And there you go. I was getting so neurotic about the word guys too, and I was like changing myself all over. I'm so cautious with my language right now. I'm trying to learn all the new terms, and then I realized after a lot more studying that it was totally fine for me to use that. I'm not using it as a gender term. So I spent so much time trying to stop myself, my mouth. Now I can use it because I know it's okay. Here we go. Ooh, this is for Gemini. Gemini has unfinished business also in the protection position. But Gemini, you're really into the exchanging gifts mode at the moment. So, and taking risks to get what you need. You haven't learned though, something from the past around that. And if you're about to re-embark on something, if you're doing something again, if you are offering something that relates to your profession and you're feeling that it's a bit risky, it only feels that way because you haven't really come to terms with your own worthiness. A lot of this is when unfinished symphony is in protection. Plus also it could be that you are repeating some things that you know don't work. Doesn't matter. All that, this is great information. Any mistake that we make is really great information. So my next cards are going to be for Cancer. For Cancer next. That was great for Gemini. Okay, Cancers. Let's see what's going on for you. So chop wood and go the distance and imagine all in the protection position. Okay, so for Cancerians, there is a tendency here to try to do other people's work for them. This is like the rescuer's card. When chop wood is in the protection position, it reminds us that, and again, I'm kind of using all three cards, so it's chop wood, go the distance, and imagine. So that we feel we're not enough, so we have to do someone else's work for them. We're going to save them from themselves. That is absolutely no good for you to be doing this week, Cancers. I'm speaking to myself here. And go the distance. You are not in a sprint, you are in a marathon. So don't give up, right? Even if you need to actually regroup a little bit and realize like, wait, that's not my work to do. My friend Doug and I would always say that this is not my work. This is this person's work to do. This is their thing to do. So very, very important that you keep that in mind, Cancerians, this week, not to do another person's emotional work for them. That's a bit of a people pleaser thing. And the Imagine card is in a protection position. Oftentimes when we do that, we actually end up feeling ungrounded, and that the hopeful possibilities, et cetera, are not based in reality. That's kind of like this pipe dream. So we want to change that and bring ourselves back into the right use of imagination, which is the universe has something in store for everybody, and our agenda may not be their agenda. Remember? So we have to surrender that and bring ourselves back into connection to our higher power. Now let's take a look at Leo. It's interesting cards. Okay, Leo is overthinking things and needs a nap and needs to make decisions. Okay, so for the Leo personality, again, you have three cards in protection. You really got to slow down this week, Leo. And really, I think asking why too often may get you kind of stuck in your head. Sometimes there is no answer. We don't know the why. Why is this happening? We don't know. We don't know. And I find that when people say, oh, everything happens for a reason, I always say, does it? I think everything happens that has meaning, but I don't think everything happens for a reason. I think this is key for the Leo personality this week, is also to realize that you don't have unlimited energy. This is, you really, really do need to take time out to regroup and to not get stuck in that center of unable to move because you don't know what decision to make. So I think that's really key, is to back away, and then you'll have a better understanding of how to make your next right action. You just might need a vacation, you know, especially from your mind. That's that kind of interesting card reading that we got for the whole week, which was really about being flexible and being observant and allowing and being receptive to see what's up and being curious about what that could offer us. So that's a good reminder for the Leo personality to go check out yesterday's video. Now let's take a look at Virgo. Virgo, fork in the road. You've got some decisions to make this week, Virgo, and to be flexible about those decisions, but don't make them quickly. The observer is to be very thoughtful and mindful about the decisions that you make and the direction that you're deciding to go in. This is not the week for you to make quick, rapid choices. This is a week for you to be mindful, thoughtful, and flexible around the choice of direction and what that presents to you, what lessons that presents to you. That includes the people that you surround yourself with, etc. too. So that's a very interesting Virgoan. I don't think that's a word, Virgoan. I have to ask my astrologer friends. Okay, so now we're looking at Libra. Here we go for Libra. And Libra is exhausted, and Libra does not, yes. So this is really great, because for the Libra personality, you need a timeout. Why? And it could be because you are tired, or hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, right? Those are the four. So if you haven't slept well, you find yourself feeling bad about something or sorry for yourself or whatever. But it's also the typical, because the observer card faces you, it's also about other people, about not letting yourself buy into other people's never-ending stories as they sort through their own stories. That's their work to do. So you have to kind of stay back a little bit and take a break from your need for constant harmony all the time. It may not be your business to create that harmony for other people. Stay in that observer seat, which is really about that more neutral observation of what's going on around you and not jumping in when it's not your place to do so. And that's a good conversation for Libras. Now let's take a look at Scorpio. Scorpio is, okay, so the first two cards are in protection. Mending is in the protection position. Come to the Edge is also in the protection, and then Unfinished Symphony is here. So when mending is in the protection position, it may be that somebody doesn't accept your amends, right? So you know how you want to fix something, but the other person not receptive, and it really is a show of, well, you got to let that go. And it also could be certain things are not possible at this moment, and that you don't have the tools or the information necessary in order for you to let something go or to repair something that needs repairing between you and another person. It may need to be a little bit of time between that. So it's not the time to take the risk. So because it will not bring you the desired results. So that's what this says. Give the other person time to let go themselves, and recognize you have a limited influence, right? Although if you hold space for the energy, that will come. Unfinished Symphony in the upright position always tells us that we're still in the learning process of a particular pattern, and whatever came before, which are these two, we get a chance to show ourselves how far we've come when it comes to this type of subject matter. So, and it could also be to ourselves, right? For the Scorpios, it could be about, that kind of sense of feeling not ready yet and waiting and kind of saying, oh, now I'm ready. Now let's look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, never-ending story and protection. Oh, wow, isn't that interesting? Observer in protection and the mending story in protection. No, in upright. Okay, so for Sagittarius, this is, again, not my circus, not my monkeys. It's like, oh boy, I got to get off the net, or I really can't get into this other people's stuff because I'm going to make no dent in any of this. I don't need to be right. I'd much rather just listen. That's kind of what this is saying. Especially the observer card, don't take this world personally, because it's after that other people could be projecting their content onto you. And the mending card is really about, if you keep in the sense of allowing everybody to be who they need to be, there's an opportunity for healing out of this also. So just don't jump in with both feet, because you'll get lots of mud on them. And realize that out of that situation or whatever it's coming up for you, there will be some healing offered as a result, as long as you kind of detach. Okay, now let's take a look at Capricorn. So Capricorn is, there's an idea of entitlement with this card here when it's in the to be fair is in protection, besides the loyal heart card. Like, you think you should have what you should have when you have it the way you want it, and it doesn't happen that way. And especially that when you've done everything that you can to make the thing that you want come off the ground, it's fine. It's really just, the message in here really is just be loyal to your dream. Don't worry about what other people think or say. And take the risk and jump into your unique, authentic, inspired path, and you will not be sorry. You don't need other people's permission to do what you need to be, to be who you need to be. Aquarius, truth be told, and clean it up, and here and now in the protection. So this is a very interesting idea for the Aquarius, because truth be told is great, because the Aquarian likes, here it is, tell it to me straight, don't mess around. That's what you're asking for. But it also says, okay, I can't clean up anybody else's side of the street but my own, and I need to stay in the here and now, because it's in the protection, and I may be projecting outside of this, like this is always going to be this way, or if the truth is this is never going to change, that's not true. So that's also a statement. You have to watch rigidity around statement making about what the truth actually is, because that may change. And so it'd be better to be in that kind of curiosity place, like that place, oh, I'm curious about what this is offering me, as opposed to this is the way it should be, and then trying to tell somebody else how it should be, because that's to clean it up upside down. Yeah, you don't want that. What an interesting week we're all going to have. Sounds like we're going to be around a lot of conversations that are relatively triggering, depending on who's having them. And all really good advice too, like to really remember is that everybody has their own path to follow. Don't make assumptions about anyone. Don't take this world personally, and stay out of drama. So Pisces needs to breathe, take a deep breath, more mending, lots of mending cards, lots of opportunities for forgiveness. You have a new beginning, Pisces, so stop holding your breath. This is a beautiful week for you. You have a lot of opportunities for healing with yourself, with other people, relationships, etc. And you have new beginnings really offered to you. You just need to trust it. You really do need to trust it and get yourself grounded through your breath, count your breaths, and remember that, you know, fear is an obstacle course you don't need to be on right now because there's no reason for you to be. So just remember, fear is not your friend, unless, of course, you really need fear. But ultimately, this is more like, you know what, take a breath. You have nothing to fear. Things are really working out for you in a way that's healing and beautiful, and you get a second chance. So that's for the Pisces personality this week. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question. Have you seen me on TikTok? Okay, I love TikTok. I'm totally in love with TikTok. I have my favorites. I won't tell you who they are, but I do. And I think it's so much fun. Anyway, so I'm on TikTok. I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube. I'm also here. Where am I? Wherever here is, because you could be seeing me on a few different places, and I'm everywhere, right? So just go everywhere. And if you, I put different content on different social media channels, not challenges, channels. That was a challenging moment. Anyway, so join me in any one of those, and we have lots of opportunities for you and lots of new topics and things like that. And what do you want to say, Mark? Anything? Nothing. Okay, good. See, that's not good. He didn't say anything today. I'm kidding. I really enjoy when he's there. All right, I'll see you next time. That was the Astro Oracle reading for the week. I will see you soon. Take care. Give me a thumbs up for this video. I love to see those thumbs. And leave me a comment. I love to read the comment. And smash that thing to subscribe, the subscribe button. You know, a little bell will come up. Click on the bell and you will get notifications when my videos are up and running. And we're putting all kinds of really great new content on YouTube. And like our podcast is coming to YouTube, Inside the Woo. I'm just going to give you little crumbs along the way, but I'm excited about it. I'll be interviewing some really interesting people and talking about some cool things. Okay, see you next time. Take care. Bye.